Hello and welcome to the first of the 2023-2024 school year curriculum updates. I'm Casey O'Mara, Director of Curriculum. A few years ago, I started to record myself in addition to sending out links to updates and kind of announcements of things that were taking place in Slate Valley. So first, I wanted to follow up on part of the presentation that Brooke gave at our opening in-service day. And I really wanted to say that the district goal to expand opportunities for hands-on experiences at every grade level, including workplace learning and place-based learning, are extensions of experiential learning, which is pedagogy that I've talked about since I arrived in the school district 6 years ago. And so a focus for me has always been trying to create experiences for learners that had them involved, actively involved, and then had them reflecting on those experiences and then trying to connect that experience to whatever content or theories that you're presenting in class. And then upon that reflection and connection, being able to take that new knowledge and actively engage in new learning with the hopes that sometimes that might exist in hands-on ways and might be connected to the workplace and might be connected to place-based learning, kind of understanding of the environment and the cultures of those areas that make up Slate Valley. And I think it fits nicely with the opportunity to recognize or embody our motto for this year of Our School, Your Future. So if we're able to identify interests of students and help them see those interests through workplace learning or place-based learning, perhaps we'll begin to have students shift to seeing their school as a place for their future to exist. So wanted to touch base on those two aspects from opening day. Wanted to share too that I had included this advertisement, I guess, or this challenge that I had seen from New York Times. I shared it with the instructional vision team when we met. And if you're new to Slate Valley, the instructional vision team is a team this year of 26 members made up of representation from all the different buildings. Many of the people who participate in Invite are building-based leaders. And I shared with them how there's a great deal that is being talked about as we enter into this school year, and that the New York Times had put out kind of this challenge of trying to establish what it is it might look like in secondary schools from the perspective of a teacher or student. And they had identified all of these challenges that face educators as they move into classrooms for the 2023-2024 school year. And I was reminded as I was looking at that I often reflect with my daughter on what her experiences are like in school. And it was something that I was working on last spring as Slate Valley was trying to identify how our middle school design course might look. That I thought about this challenge and these outtakes from that recording, and her saying, yep, basically, yeah, thing, what, sure, if you don't remember, you get yelled at, was really an example of students being students. And as you create experiences to get students to connect with content, explore that content, and then reflect on it to demonstrate mastery, that you are working with students that have dispositions, attitudes that probably seem similar to those that existed for students 20 years ago. So even in the face, or 30 years ago, so even in the face of all of these challenges, students are still students, and our work is still our work to create experiences to get students to connect with the content that you're presenting and then get them to reflect so that you can determine where they are on a continuum of mastering the learning. And then I just wanted to have set the stage for the assessment that we give across our school district 3 times a year, K-8, and then only once in ninth grade, and that is the STAR assessment. We use it as our benchmarking assessment, and then we use it for progress monitoring. And so for K-8, we've identified October as the month that will administer STAR, and feel free to check out the assessment plan here. It's all updated and it does speak to that assessment in October. And for ninth grade, we can still administer it in September because our use of STAR for ninth grade is really to check on placement for students, not so much benchmarking and progress monitoring. There is a note here that I've included when we do get ready to administer in October K-8 with our youngest learners in the K-2 realm. We do have this manner in which we move from STAR early literacy to STAR reading and STAR math. And so I just wanted to highlight that in the score that we look to determine where students should move in terms of the type of assessment they should be taking. And then I did take a screenshot, and when we do get there in October in the K-8 schools and for ninth grade in September, where STAR can be accessed from the Slate Valley homepage and the quick links, bookmarks, that we have as we log into our account for Slate Valley. Please let me know if you have any questions. It's going to be a super year, and thank you for all that you do.